Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is using the alpha to kind of create translucent areas. Now, there's not really much on this guy that we can do that with, so we're just going to kind of hack this a little bit. So the way we do that, we're just going to go to edge and we're just going to give this guy kind of like a random visor. So if you just select the four edges on the helmet here, if you just hold shift and drag down like so, and if you press 1 to go to vertex mode, then we'll just select these here and drag those down. So just as with all kind of Vikings, they've got a nice kind of plastic visor on the front of their helmets to protect them from stuff. Now obviously what we need to do now is actually unwrap that little piece before we apply translucency to it. So just whack and unwrap on it, go to edit and select the four polys here, and in this case we should be able to just actually, well, we won't do that then, we will, well, let's just try again, go to flat mapping and we'll try putting up our threshold. No, no good. So what we'll try then is just putting a planar map on it. Now at the moment you can see the planar map's facing the wrong way, so if you just use a line here, just to get it kind of nicely lined up like so. Then if you click off planar, then we'll just drag that down like that. So there we go, we have our kind of shape. What we might want to do is just grab these verts, pull them out a little bit. Actually, to be honest, it's not really going to matter that much, but just for the kind of sake of getting them just right, pull those out as well. Now what we're going to need is a bit of spare space on the texture, so if you just load the texture in, select the visor bit and shrink it down, and just find a kind of area on the map where nothing is actually being used, so probably say around there. What we can do now actually is just, for some reason this recording makes the right click menu not work very well. So we'll just select both models, apply and unwrap, and go to edit. Yep, and we can see that that visor area is fine where it is. So let's decrease that in size, might as well use the space. Okay, then what we're going to need to do is actually render our UV template again. So we'll just render UV template, save that out again. We might as well just record over the old one. We'll come back into Photoshop, and in our layers we'll just delete the old template. Open recent, we'll reopen it, updates. So Control A, Control C, in here, Control V, and then Control T, the transform, and then just whack these up. Double click to assign it. Okay, we can see our little bit here, so what we're going to do is, if you just come over to the selection tool here, let's do a little selection around there. So there we go, we've got the whole area selected. We'll turn that off, come into channels, and in our alpha we're just going to paint this a kind of mid-range grey. So with that painted, we'll come over to, in fact, the other thing we'll do as well is reselect that area, come back up to RGB, and in our diffuse we'll just give that a kind of bluey tint, let's say. Okay, so now we'll have a kind of nice bluey glass. Our alpha will be showing translucency, and the glass will have a kind of nice blue tint to it. So we'll save that again as Targa. Make sure in 32-bit so we get the alpha, and we'll come back into 3DSMax. Close all this down. And we'll just apply the same material to the visor here. And there you go, you can see you can get a kind of nice transparency effect on the mesh here.